You're watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and as of a couple years ago, I had not heard the term gut health, but it's been something that pops up all the time in my feed now on Instagram, and it's definitely something that is at the forefront. I hear it all the time, and I've heard that your gut health is kind of tied to every other part of your health. So I'm very excited to talk to our next guest, Bridgette Mallinson. She is the founder and CEO of GutPersonal, a supplement company and functional medicine practice. So welcome to America Trends, Bridgette.
Hi, Mary. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm thrilled that you're here. And we showed your website earlier, and right at the top it says sleep and poop better. And I think, who doesn't need both of those in their life, right?
It's so true. I don't think there's two things we want to be doing better as human beings. Sleeping better and pooping better.
Absolutely.
You feel better.
You feel better. And so I want to talk to you about how you got into this. You're a functional medicine dietitian, right? And you had your own kind of medical issues that led you down this gut health journey.
Yeah, so my whole childhood, I was a constipated kid. I was always getting sick, and I was put on a lot of antibiotics. And this really affected my gut health. I didn't know it for, 2 decades later, but I had migraines. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I had thyroid issues. I gained a lot of weight. All of these things that I really didn't know where they were stemming from, and doctors weren't really giving me answers. And as I went to school to become a dietitian, I learned, food is medicine, but I didn't really, that wasn't helping me in my own health journey. So I dove into functional medicine, which really gets to the root cause of imbalances, and I fixed my entire body. I went from 5 medications for 5 different things to no medications, and I feel my best.
Wow. So how did you start to do that? Did you start clearing things out one at a time? I mean, I know it's like some people try gluten, some people try whatever it may be, cheese, they go vegan or they go whatever it is. So how did you kind of go down that path and figure out what was right for you?
Yeah, so honestly, it's so interesting that you bring up gluten, because that was a huge problem for me. But it wasn't just, I think this is a problem, I'll take it out for a couple weeks. I actually did testing, and that's what my practice does now. This is the thing that changed the entire game for me, was actually doing a poop test. Now, it's not sexy, but it is the thing that works. And so what this test tells you is what you're sensitive to, what bad bacteria is in your gut, if you have parasites, if you're breaking down your food well. It's a really in-depth, very science-backed test that really says, okay, here's what's going on in your gut, and here's how you can fix it.
Well, I love that there's ways that you can fix it. I mean, that's the good news, is that there's ways to fix it. So do you subscribe to GutPersonal, or what's the format there?
Yeah, so the best way to work with us over there is we have a quiz. And what I was finding being in functional medicine is that functional medicine isn't very accessible.
Right, because not everyone's going to need the same thing. So I see you have several different supplements on here, and I love, personalized. That's in your brand name, which is awesome. Do you get that people maybe don't want to? Because I don't know if I want to take that test because it's going to tell me I can't eat my favorite food. And so,
oh my gosh,
there's like fear.
Absolutely, I think just in general with changing your health, there can be this fear, and I think especially like this. Kind of normalizing of our symptoms. I think especially us women, we can normalize like how we feel and, just say, oh, I'm just tired all the time. I don't poop every day, and that's normal. But there is a sense of, fear with taking out foods that you love. But at GutPersonal, we have many dietitians. They are all trained in the method of, we do not just remove foods, especially if our client doesn't want to remove them. It's all about empowerment and saying, hey, this is how you're feeling. This is what testing is telling us. It's up to you, and I will support you in doing what you want. Because that's where we really see big change. If you're saying, I'm really not going to give up gluten. Then we're like, okay, let's move on to the next thing.
Now tell me about, because it makes sense to me that you poop better if you get your eating better, you figure out what that is, but the sleep portion of it, tell me about the connection of your gut health with better sleep, because I think everyone could use better sleep. I mean, I'm a fairly deep sleeper now, but sometimes I can't fall asleep or I wake up in the middle of the night. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so when your gut is out of balance, it can't absorb as well. And there's this saying in functional medicine, it's not what you eat, but what you absorb. And so what that means is literally we have minerals, the biggest being magnesium. And if our gut is unhealthy, we don't absorb as much magnesium. Magnesium is our calming mineral. It helps our nervous system calm down so that we don't wake up in the middle of the night. So really it's magnesium deficiency caused by poor gut health.
Wow. All right. So in some of these supplements that you might take then through GutPersonal, maybe you would see that your sleep is off and you would have the one that has magnesium in it.
Yes.
Or help you retain it better.
Absolutely. Honestly, so I've done magnesium testing. We do vitamin and mineral testing on thousands of people. I've only had one person that wasn't deficient in magnesium.
Really? Wow.
Yes. So truly everyone needs to be on magnesium. Now, what you're dealing with depends on your dose. And that's really where we help personalize even further for people in calls that we have, strategy calls of, okay, for you, this is about how much magnesium I think you should be taking.
Okay, and so now I'm going to go back to the poop test that you talked about. So is that something that do you send out the test that people take at home, or do you have them go to a clinic and send you the lab results, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we send them a container to their house, and they literally take their sample and they send it back to a lab that we use.
Okay.
And yeah, it's an incredible test. It's not that fun to take. I'm not going to lie.
To be honest, we had somebody and someone sent me one, and it's still sitting on my shelf about a year and a half later because I haven't gotten myself ready to take that test.
That is what happens.
That's a barrier.
Very normal. So do not feel bad about that. I always give the guidance of, it's just the expectation that it's not going to be great. And then for women, if you have a hair clip, literally just clip it over your nose. It makes everything better.
That's funny. Okay, so they take the test, they send it into you, and then what happens with the next step? What's the next step with GutPersonal?
Yeah, so one of our functional dietitians reviews it, and it's about 5 pages long. So it's a lot of information. They review the test along with an intake form that's really incredible for us to figure out, okay, what are your goals? What have you been going through? Are you also dealing with hormone issues or, like I was, migraine and thyroid issues? We take a lot of the health history and goals and then look at the test results, and then we put together a personalized protocol. So the personalized protocol not only has supplements, it also has lifestyle shifts. It might have nutrition shifts. And then that protocol is given to our client, and then they have a session with one of our functional medicine dietitians where they really decide and co-create this really empowering step-by-step protocol.
It's so fascinating. And, is there an educational piece to it too, where you'd say, like your magnesium talk that you just had, to explain that to your customer, your client, so that they can wrap their head around the things that their body is doing or not doing to help get it better. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that our company is so important to us is empowerment. And we do that through education. So whether it's with our clients, we also have a program called The Gut Fix, and that's where we have a course in that. So really, a lot of our clients that want to learn a lot more are taking that course, but we also do a lot of free education. We have a free YouTube channel. We do a lot of mini bit education on social media. So we're all about education.
So talk to me about some of these individual supplements and, how you go into creating them, and you have a team of scientists that work behind the scenes?
Yes, absolutely. And myself. So I'm one of our lead formulators. So having worked with clients for over a decade, I really knew what worked. And this allowed us to formulate the best products. And so you'll see we have some probiotics on there, the booster, the go-to, the healer plus pro. I didn't just want, and this is actually a red flag when you're going to work with a company, one probiotic. One probiotic cannot fit all. And I think this is a problem in the gut health industry, and something that does need to be educated to the public is not everyone can take the same probiotic.
Well, thank you so much, Bridgette. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here. This is fascinating stuff, and maybe I'll get brave and take one of your tests. Jason's something I need to. So we're going to say GutPersonal.com or gut.personal on Instagram, and your Instagram is Bridgette Mally on Instagram. Thank you so much, Bridgette. And everyone at home,
thank you so much, Mary.
stick around. We've got more America Trends right after this quick break.